evening and welcome once again to the Whiskey Cowboy Live. Today's date is March 10th, 2024. It is a Sunday. Sunday. Laurel's already on the show. She jumped in just at the top of the hour. Hey, Laurel, how you doing? Welcome to the show. It's our first day of the spring ahead, daylight savings time. I guess I upset a couple people. I posted up the other day that they need to stop this crap. And of course, I got the I like it because blah blah blah. I don't care why you like it. I don't care why. I really don't. It's no need. Oh, you like the extra hour? Fine. Then let's keep daylight savings time year round. Don't turn it back in the fall. Problem solved. Unless I'm going to an appointment or something like that, I don't usually use my watch anyways. I look to see where the sun is. I can usually tell you within 15 or 20 minutes of what time it is. Damn near any time of the day. And that's not because I'm some wizard or anything. It's just that I've lived a couple years. I understand how it works. Noon, the sun should be damn near overhead. It's that simple. Damn near overhead. Now you know whether you're before noon or after noon, and then where's your shadow? Where's the sun? There you go. You know where it is. You know roughly what time the sun sets. Hell, then your shadow's long and straight out the other side. Same way as the morning. You know what generally the sun is when you wake up. If you wake up and the sun's already out, just step outside, see where a shadow is. You can tell basically what time it is. It's not that I don't like daylight savings time. Although again, look, if you work a job, one of the things was, if you're a mother and you work till 4:30 to 6 o'clock, somewhere around in there. Hey Judy, welcome to the show. And you come home and you need to do your dinner, and the kids can play outside while you're doing it. Look, an hour's worth of sunlight isn't going to change that. If you get home even at 6 o'clock in the summertime and you start fixing dinner, it's going to be daylight. If you get home at 6 and you don't start cooking dinner till 9:30, your problem wasn't daylight savings time. Your problem was poor time management. So let's get that done. Oh, gee, but no. Sorry. The claimed purposes for daylight savings time, which would give people time to come home and tend their victory gardens and stuff like that, it's over. We don't need that. We don't need that. Because we didn't have it before World War II. Better time management. What are you going to do for the people that work night shift? It's like, what are they going to do? No. Just pick a time. I don't care whether it's standard or whether it's daylight savings. Just pick it and then go year round. There's no need to change. That was my point. No need to change. If most people want the extra hour, fine. Here's my thing. I don't want the extra hour. Why? Because I like to start my fire in the summertime. I like having my fire at night. I don't light the fire generally till it starts getting dark. You do daylight savings time, I start the fire later. I don't stay up till midnight. So yeah, you folks want to, I need that extra hour of daylight. Look, I'm not staying. I want to have my fire done and then, started and then done by about 10 o'clock, 10:30. I don't want to start my fire at 9:30 and then have it done by midnight. Well, John, that's selfish of you. Yeah, it's selfish of me. It's because it's me. I don't make my decisions in life based on you. How silly would that be? Somebody works late and they just want, so that was your choice. No. I want my fire started early. I want my fire started, 8:30, done by 10:30. It's a couple hours. That's fine. Maybe go a little bit longer, but I don't want to wait till 9:30 to start the fire. Hell, and even when you have folks over, you got company over, right? Come 9:30, I'm sorry, we're not 20 years old. Come 9:30, folks want to go home. I get it. I get it. Because they've got to drive. They still have to drive home. So you don't want to have to start the fire just before they're going to leave. So no, I don't, no. I'd rather not. Let's just leave it alone. But I'll play it either way. But this back and forth shit, no. No. Tonight's coffee, chocolate-covered strawberries from Dunkin' Donuts brand. Oh, Donna wouldn't like that. Oh, there's Donna. Donna says, I wish they'd pick a lane and stay in it. Right. I don't care one way or the other. I'll adapt. There's no need to keep switching it back and forth. None. It's crazy. Hey, how about Sheldon Johnson, 48? I wrote up about him today. He was released just over 9 months ago. I think it was just over 9 months ago. Definitely under a year ago. I think it was somewhere around 9 months. 9 months, or 9 months to a year. Serving a 25-year sentence for criminal activities. And he admitted to the activities, but he thought that the sentencing was overblown. So now he's out. He's out. Now he was out. And he got, coffee. He got involved with the Innocence Project. And I don't know if you folks know what the Innocence Project is, but they're a bunch of liberal loonies. They go around and they basically, if they get one innocent person out of 100, they'd be lucky. They always pick the wrong horse. Because our system is so racist and so broken, the innocent people are getting thrown in prison. It's like, yeah, they didn't go after the J6 folks. They didn't help them out. Donna says it may have served a purpose at one time. Yeah, it might, but I think it was still overblown. I think it was a political thing. But yeah, so he's like, oh, and the reason why he got put in prison is there was an interaction where somebody had owed him money because he sold them a shit ton of drugs, and they didn't pay him his money. So he went with some buddies, and they wanted to go collect on the money, and shit went bad. So he gets on the Joe Rogan show not too long ago, and he was like, yeah, because he was talking about for the Innocence Project. It's like, yeah. And he was making it seem like it was just a collection of a debt. It just went wrong. It was fine. It's like, look, motherfucker, you were selling illegal drugs. None of it was good. None of it was right. So he gets sentenced to 25 years. He does 25 and change. So he gets out, and he's involved with these the innocent projects. Yeah, okay. Well, last week he was arrested. Well, what this poor innocent lad did is he was in prison with a certain dude, and this certain dude had made some statements, and there was some issues and shit like that. Well, he went and he visited this certain dude. So both of them are ex-cons, and he disguises himself and goes into this guy's apartment. And he shoots him in the head. And the neighbors all hear, oh, please don't. I've got kids. Da, 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 pow. It's like, okay. So the neighbors knew what the hell was up. And by the time the police had shown up, he was already gone. But he had come back. And I don't know what the hell response time is for this place, but he had used multiple outfits to include hats and wig. To disguise himself coming in and out of this other guy's apartment building. And he had cut him up, so he had time to cut him up and put him in containers and plastic bags, black plastic trash bags, and get most of his body out there, I guess. And to attempt some cleanup. Like in a white hazmat suit or something. So they end up, the cops go and they search the guy's apartment, not the guy that he killed, but the other guy. And yeah, lo and behold, he's got his head with a gunshot wound in it. He's got armed, leg, feet in a black trash bag in the guy's freezer. Oh, God. You can't make this up, folks. You can't make this up. Just like I hate to laugh, but it's like when are people gonna learn? Same way with the 8 people that were arrested the other day for the rape, torture, and broadcasting of said rape and torture of a girl online. 8 people. 8 freaking people. It's like, give me a break. Yeah, I don't even have to tell you. Yeah, the usual suspects. I'll leave it at that. The usual suspects. Oh, John, that's racist. Hey, I didn't do it. If you're going to bet money, yeah, you'd probably guess. So, yeah, Lord Almighty. It's like, when are people going to stop grifting? These protect the, the Innocence Project. Ain't nothing innocent. Stop it. There are actually innocent people that get wrangled in, but that's an anomaly. That's an anomaly. Lord Almighty. Unless, of course, you are a conservative and a Democrat DA and judicial system wants to get a hold of you. But see, they don't go after this. This is all minorities. I can't remember the last time they went over somebody that wasn't a minority. They even got a guy out. One of the other guys they just got out recently, down in Florida. They got him released. Why? Over a technicality. And you can go, well, yeah, if there's a technicality, you shouldn't be in jail. Yeah, well, the DNA evidence, it pointed to him. It was his DNA. He did it. He was convicted. His DNA is all over the fucking place. And they got him released on a technicality. That's not an Innocence Project type of a person. He wasn't innocent. And this wasn't even like a flagrant violation of something. This was just a little technicality, and it got him released from prison. I wonder how long it's going to be before he's back in behind bars. Absolutely amazing. You can't make this shit up. Posted up about the New York firemen that booed and chanted Trump, Trump, Trump when DA tells her name James. It's a J. It's late. DA James, Letitia James, was going to give one of the firemen an award. And the firemen weren't having anything. The ones that were watching weren't having it. Them and their guests and other onlookers. Boo, boo. And she came out and then started Trump, Trump, Trump. Yeah, because they're tired of it. And I get Jack Wagon come to my page and he posted up. It's funny. He wanted to argue with me about shit. And it's like, hey, stop it. After 2 times, he was gone. He's gone. I just removed him. He's gone. I don't need this shit. But one of the things that he said, and I made a separate post about it, is he, quote, I'm not saying firemen are the military, but he was comparing, because they're all taxpayers, so it's just like the military and they're in uniform. It's like, no, the firemen are not like the military. Love firemen. They have a useful job. They're not the military. Stop it. Same way as corrections officers are not police officers. Stop it. Judy says nice. I don't know what the nice was for. But he writes, I'm not saying firemen are the military, but they do work for the taxpayer, like the military. If the taxpayer thinks they are political, it absolutely has negative consequences. What the fuck is he talking about? So if you're a taxpayer, or if you're getting paid taxpayer money, and you're political, it's going to cause consequences. No, it seems only if you're right-leaning and political. SCIU, liberal lefties, teacher unions, liberal lefties. Same way with the teachers and most of the union members. Left. Auto workers, most of them are left. Democrat supporting. You can go down the line. Go down the line. Democrat, 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 and they all do political shit. But it's a problem when the firemen do this? Get out of here. Look, we can argue that what they did shouldn't have been done. Okay, let's go with that. You're going to hold the same standard? See, that's the problem I have. Let's pick a standard and apply it evenly to everybody. If you're on the right and you're an activist or you want to speak your mind or do whatever, and I've been posting up about that lately, it's like every time the right even slightly does what the left does, as a default, they're villainized, demonized. Judy says that they booed her and chanted Trump. Love that. Yeah. I'm not even a Trump guy. I keep saying most of the backlash is not about Trump. The backlash is about anti-them, and Trump's there. Trump's going to be their hired. Well, they think he's going to be. I've said he rhetorics to the far right. He governs from the center. So yeah, but the left, their rhetoric is from the far left, and they govern from the far left. So anything to the right is better than, Trump is an old school Democrat, how he runs things, But whatever, it's not about, I keep saying, stop making everything about Trump. It's not Trump. It's not that Trump's a savior. They are so pissed off at everybody else in the left and the Democrat Party now. And he's the go-to. He's the go-to. And there's nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. Trump is gaining a lot of the lower and middle class. He's getting the Hispanics and the black vote again. More and more of it. The left is causing this. Trump isn't causing this. The left is causing this. The left is pushing people to Trump. Fucking push away. My goodness. But like I said, keep your standards. That's what look. You want to prosecute to the January 6th folks to the fullest extent of the law and then some, have at it. I'll argue that it ain't right for most of the cases, but have at it. But if you do, where the fuck was all the prosecutions when cities were burning, courthouses were gone into, when state legislative sessions were interrupted? Judy says they can't see past their hate. The left can. So it's like, just even standards. That's all I'm asking for. Equal standards. We'll play it any way you want. But you got to play it fair and you got to play it even across the board, and that's not happening. Posted up tonight about an Amazon delivery. I'm sitting in my living room and I'm like, man, where the hell's that noise coming from? Boom, 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 boom. And it started hearing shit. And I'm like, man. And it kept going and it kept going and it kept going. Like, oh my God. So I got up and I looked out the window. Oh, there's an Amazon truck out front. I opened up the door to get the packages, and it's ghetto music. Now, I'm not saying that as a pejorative. I'm saying it as a descriptive. It was ghetto music. With the bitch and everything else that goes along with it. All of the ghetto vernacular. Cranked loud. Doors wide open. And he had dropped packages off to mine and went up the street. He was walking to a neighbor to deliver packages there. It's like, this ain't going to do. So I stood there and I waited, and he comes out back in front of my house, and he's about ready to get in the van. And I said, hey, you might want to reconsider the volume levels and your choice of music when you're on the job. I said it just like that. Wasn't an asshole. And he looks at me and he goes, whatever you say. I'm like, oh, hell no. See, because whatever you say is fuck you. Now, I'm not going to have that. So I'm like, no. It's not whatever I say. It's you may want to reconsider the volume level of the music and your selection when you're out working the job. And he looks at me again. He says, have a nice day. And he jumps in the truck and drives off. It's like, oh, fucking no. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. So we got in touch with Amazon. Didn't settle for a form. We had an interaction with Amazon. And yes, these delivery drivers are third party. But you know what? By knowing our address and what time it is and the package number, they know exactly who dropped it off, and then they know the exact third-party contractor that did it. And they're like, "Yeah, that's that's not right. We'll take care of that, and he'll be spoken to." I don't know whether they're going to speak to him or not. But more people, look, we live in a society that's just tolerated way too much, and I'm not an asshole right off the bat. But I'm not going to sit there and just suck it up, because sucking it up is what allows people to. It's like, oh, you know, an asshole, and they've been an asshole their whole life. Yeah. Probably because nobody's knocked the fuck out of them. it's that simple. Well, here I am. Look, you know, we're going to have words or we're going to dance. But somebody's going to get right. I don't go out looking for problems. People need to stop allowing problems around them. You see something wrong, take care of it. Again, you don't have to go in swinging, but open up your mouth, let people know, and then let them figure out how you're gonna go with it. Are we going to dance, or are you going to do the right thing? That's fine. Nom. Chocolate-covered strawberry. Dunkin' Donuts brand. Donna's like, no. No. So that was another bit of news. Oh, I posted up about my upcoming canoe project. See if I can pull up some pictures for folks. Here we go. Let me... There we go. There's a picture of me and my current, no pun intended, my current speedy canoe. This is my North Star Phoenix in black light. This is their most expensive model. It's like, oh, beautiful. It's a carbon fiber. I wanted their IXP. It's heavier, more rugged, but they didn't have any. This one is their prettiest. So I got this. And there it is all decked out. I got my seat back chair, and I got the cushion, the whole 9 yards. Okay. Donna says, hey, I could do that one. Do what one? This is it. My father, and we grew up with a Lincoln 16-footer prospector style. So you can see the canoe here. The bow is closer to the water line, and the waistline is not as wide. It's this one here is a very narrow canoe, very speedy. It's a sports car. It's also more tippy, and it's quite playful. Oh, Donna says chocolate-covered strawberries. Yeah. Oh, this one's gorgeous. Gorgeous, yummy chocolate-covered strawberry from Dunkin' Donuts. It's a dark roast. I don't usually go dark roast, but this is a dark roast, and it's good. So, this is the one that I have now. My father's is a Lincoln, and I figured it's probably around a 1970s model. And it's fiberglass, but they were known even in the day for having some of the lightest and best canoes out there. And I think he got it. I think he got that back before us kids went to live with him, because we were born, went to be with our mother. My mother moved across the country, moved back. Then my father got us, but it's a long story. So in the downtime when we weren't there, I think that's when he got this canoe. So I grew up with the canoe. It's not this one, but it's the Lincoln. It's a red Lincoln prospector style. So it's got a prettier bow. The bow comes up higher, classic canoe shape, and the waistline is wider. So it's a lot more stable boat. And it's a tandem boat. So you have the front and the back seat. Now when you run it in solo mode, you just run it backwards because it's a symmetrical boat. The front and back are identical. So what you do is you sit on what would be the front seat, but you do it backwards, and then so you're closer to the center of the canoe because you're facing, but whatever. I know about 30 years ago, the canoe was weeping. Now, weeping is, I don't know if that's the term, but weeping is when the canoe, when just sitting in the water, will slowly get some moisture on the inside of it. Not from your paddle. It'll just slowly get moisture building because it's working its way through the fiberglass hull. So it was, you wouldn't end up with a lot, but it would weep a little bit. And that was about 30 years ago at least, probably 30. But then he had stopped canoeing and stuff like that, and he had it outside, uncovered, and formed cracks. All of the gel coat on the outside is fucked. It's the whole bottom of it is black rot, mold, and then cracked like desert. You see the desert with all the cracks. That's how it is. It's pretty bad, and they're starting to. The gel coat is popping up. So guaranteed, if you set it in the water, she's going to be weeping right through the fiberglass. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to sand the entire thing down on the outside. The inside's in good shape because that was underneath because it was put with the bottom up for storage out in the sun. But I'm going to have to completely sand off all of the gel coat and re-coat and paint the entire canoe. So that's going to be a project. It's probably going to take me a couple days just to sand, and then again a couple days to paint. I'll probably do a 2-day paint, unless I do multiple colors. See, this one, I can go all red like it is, and it's going to be pretty, but I'd kind of like to do red to the waterline, and then a creamy, kind of a tan, but a really light, creamy color on the very bottom. Now that looks pretty. But the thing with it is, it's not but, it shows scratches less. The darker the color, the more the scratches show. So if it has a cream color bottom, it'll show scratches a lot less than the red color bottom or black or whatever you do. Then if I do two-tone, what might look nice too is if where the two colors meet, then I could just use Krylon or something like that and just do like maybe an inch or even a half an inch, maybe a half an inch black stripe where the two colors meet. I haven't decided. It's all going to depend upon how I feel when I'm actually doing the project. But it's going to be beautiful. So that's I want to do that this spring. But what that's going to do is that's going to allow me to have another canoe in my quiver. And if somebody wants to go canoeing with me, either by themselves or as a couple, and they don't have a canoe, I got a canoe. Because I got the paddles. I got extra paddles. I got extra vests. I got everything. I'll even top them myself. I'll put both of them on top of my little car. Zippy will carry them back. I'm going to make a 2x4 brace for it. It'll go across the top of the car and then put them on it and then tie them down. So yeah, so I'll be able to get to where we need to go. But if somebody wants to, if they live in the area and they want to get their ass out of bed, say, okay, it's Thursday. We're gonna hit X lake. It's a little lake. We're gonna hit this X lake or this river here, Y river. Meet me at this location at 8:30 in the morning. Just show up. Bring your food. Bring your food and water. Put it in a Ziploc container or something, because if things tip, then you don't want to lose it. But yeah, bring your food in a nice waterproof container or something like that. If you don't have one, I got a dry bag. I'll bring a dry bag. You can put the shit in my dry bag, and you can put that in the canoe. Because I got my other stuff. I'm using a Yeti. Just because it's easier. But yeah, so you won't need one. You can go out with the Cowboy, and you can go canoe and spend the day out on the water with me and shoot the shit and relax and listen to the wildlife and see the world from directions and angles that you've never seen it before. Get in touch with nature. So that's my plans. That's my plans. It's going to cost me. It ain't going to cost me what a new canoe would cost. I'm hoping I can get the whole thing done for under $150. Should be able to. Depends upon how fancy I want to get. But I figured that's worth it. I'd let my brother take it. I'm like, hey, if you want it, you got to drive up here and get it. That, and there's some other stuff. There's another thing he's going to get, but it's like, if you want it, I'm not going to fix it. And he's like, I wouldn't use it. It's like, well, shit, if you're not going to use it, it's not even a question. It's not even a question. I'm not going to have you lug it down there, down to the Carolinas. I think it's North Carolina. North Carolina. I'm going to have you lug it down there just to sit. And then you're still going to, you can't use it as it is. You'd have to put money into it. It's like, no, I'll take care of it. So probably next week, I'll bring it home. Then I can slowly work on it. Get some new discs for my random orbital sander. I ain't going to do it by hand and put it up on the sawhorses and just take my time and really just get all that gel coat and everything off of it, because it is nasty. It ain't working the way it is. Oh, it's also a center keeled. Mine's a flat bottom, has no keel. And this Lincoln has a keel. Track's really good for a 16-footer. Even wide, track's good because it's got a nice keel. Super stable. Great canoe for me to let somebody that's not familiar with a canoe use. I would never go, well, I'll take the larger of the two. I mean, one's 14. Mine's 14 and a half. This one's 16, so it's not that much longer. But mine's a good bit narrower. I can't imagine somebody that's not used to canoeing get inside my North Star. They're going to be in the water. They're going to be in the water because that thing will just flip on them. It's a fun boat. It's a fun boat, but you gotta be a canoer. Yeah, you don't just grab the Phoenix and go. It's a sports car. Laurel says, use good ventilation. Fiberglass dust is wicked. Yeah, I'm gonna have on a mask, and it's gonna be outside. And I'm gonna be very careful. Ideally I don't even want to touch that fiberglass, but it's still gonna be dusty. But yeah, I'm hoping not to do any fiberglass work. I should just be able to clear coat it, not clear coat it. Call it bright coat or top coat. Top coat, bright coat. It's the stuff they use on the top sides of boats. Most people that do their canoe, they don't do bottom coat on the whole thing. That's double expensive. They usually do the good grade Marina top coat paint, and that's what I'm going to use. But yeah, it's going to be outside. Can't get any better ventilated than that, and I'm going to wear a mask. Yeah, see, I'll wear a mask doing woodwork or this type of stuff. I ain't going to wear a mask for the bugaboo. Sorry, not doing it. So yeah, I'm sure it's going to be pretty when I get done with it. Then I'll take it out. I'll take it out at least once by myself. Give it a good test run, make sure she ain't weeping and stuff. If she is, I'll figure out whether I want to do a clear coat on the inside or do some other goodies. I don't know. But should be fine. Laura says, can't wait to see it. No kidding. Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. When I pick it up, I should have taken pictures for y'all. When I pick it up and bring it back, I'll show you guys. It's like, oh, she's in rough shape. It's structurally, she's still good. I have to redo the seats. It used to be a cane seat, but then then my father did webbing in it, and he's done like several different webbings, and I kind of sat in it yesterday and ripped through the webbing. It's yeah. So everything gets replaced. Yeah, before and after. I'm going to do before, and then I'll show pictures during. Sort of like what I did with the chicken coop in the run, to show you guys the process that I go through. I mean, it ain't rocket science, but it's just a pain in the ass. So we'll start out with a pretty good grit. Get as much, because it's the cracks are they're opening up. I didn't notice any cracks that went all the way through the fiberglass itself, so I'm pretty sure it's just excuse me, coffee, just the gel coat. We'll see. We'll find out. This is one of those things like when you do a car. You'll find out. When you're doing renovation on the house, it's like, yeah, you'll find out. You start taking shit apart, and you're like, oh, hey, I didn't realize that was like that. Well, there you go. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Just letting folks know, Gus may or may not be here. He may drop in to listen. He probably won't talk, but he may not drop in to listen. He's not feeling well. So I figured folks would ask. So I'll say, Gus is a little under weather tonight. And it's like, hey, not a problem. You can catch me on Wednesday. But yeah, so I'll go and I'll pick up the canoe. Oh, it's beautiful lines. Classic prospector shape. It's a beautiful canoe. Just worn out. Yeah, I hope he feels better too. It might be the weather, because we had a huge weather change come in, so it could be the weather with him. I got a bit of a headache, but I'm used to it. I'm used to this stuff. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, beautiful shape. And it's not a Royal X. So it's a good fiberglass. And it's good quality when it was picked up. I remember we used it all growing up. So we learned on. Remember the first time I got to take it out by myself. It was a big boy times. I got pictures, slides. I got slides of me. It's funny because we went through all the slides. It's none of the other kids. Me. And I wasn't the golden child. But yeah, one of the slides is we're going down a big river, and there I'm sitting in the front. I think I was something like 5 or 6. I was like 5 or 6 years old. I was a little guy. I think I'm wearing like tan pants. You know, like golfer pants. They've got the loose plaid. It's like really thin lined plaid, almost like golfer pants. You know, the early 70s. Yeah. Funny. But there it was. I'm like, hey, hey, that's me. And the missus is like, yeah, that's you. Yeah, it is. It is. So yeah, we'll get it back up to shape, and then out on the water. If I was going to trip, that's the tripping canoe. Now, it's a decent, it's 16 foot. It's decent for two people. And you can fit two good-sized people in it. She got good buoyancy. It's a good canoe. But if you're singling, again, you turn around backwards because it's a symmetrical design. And you put all your packs and stuff in it. Oh, there's plenty of room. It is the perfect solo tripping canoe. Great for tandem. You know, if you're out in day with you and somebody else, that's great. You, somebody else, your food and a dog and maybe a kid or two. You can put two kids in there. Put one kid in front of the guy in the back. Then one kid in front of the thwart, the yoke in the middle, between the middle thwart and the front seat, and then the person in the front seat. We've had 4 people in it. It's perfectly fine. 2 kids, 2 adults. But yeah, one person packing. Oh, she handles really good. Now, if you're not afraid to edge, she handles great and she can spin on a dime. But you gotta not be shy about throwing it on the edge. Mine, I don't throw my new one on the edge because it's I'll lean it a little bit, but I don't throw it on the edge. Not like I did the Lincoln. The Lincoln, I throw it on the edge. You know, run that gunnel damn near down onto the water. You can spin it on a dime, or you can track that way, and it's fine. Don't do that with my Phoenix. Why? Well, because it's narrow. And it's playful. It is playful. So no, I tend to keep her flat to maybe a little bit like this, but I don't really rock her over on her edge. Don't need to. But yeah, with the Lincoln, I'd edge her. And she's a beautiful canoe. She handles really well. Well, like I said, I'd give my brother first track at it, and I figured, okay, these are some things. Like I'm giving him my grandfather's gold watch and stuff. Yeah, it's like, here's some stuff. Do you want some other stuff? Here's some stuff. There's not a lot left. Here's some stuff. You're going to come up for the saw rig. It's a 1-lunger, big round blade on it, belt driven, leather belt driven. We talked about that on the show. Gus said that he had one growing up too. So you're going to come up with a trailer and pick that up. But yeah, it's like, you want the canoe, you can have it, but if you're not going to use it, I'll definitely put it to good use. Plus, if my youngest goes, she got a kayak. You saw her in the last video. So she goes kayaking with me. A canoe, she kayaks. It's our dad and daughter time. We get out there and just relax. There's something about it. The water and being on the water, and you, the boat, the water, moving just by yourself. It's a religious experience, and it just washes away your cares. So that's what we do. We go have fun, go explore some places. Well, her fella doesn't have a kayak. So if he wants to come along, we'll take. We get to use the Lincoln. I'll use my sports car. We'll just zip on out there. Peggy says, "Hey there, the extra hour of sunshine makes it hard to come inside." You missed the first part, I think. It's like, no, I like to start my fires. If I have somebody over, I love having the fire over when I've got fire in the fire pit when folks are over. But everybody has to leave because they have to drive home. But you don't want to start the fire when it's daylight out there. So you don't want to wait till 9:30 in the summertime to start a fire. You want to start around 8. Okay, the sun's starting to go down 8. That's fine. I don't want to be 9:30. That way they can stay until 9:30, 10 o'clock, and you've had a little bit of fire anyways. They don't have to stay until midnight. So, yeah. But either way, I don't care. Just pick a time. Pick a time, and let's just keep it that way. So yeah, as you folks can probably tell, I'm pretty stoked about the canoe. I'd kind of wanted it, but again, I wasn't gonna. It's like, hey, if he wants it, you can have it. Because I have a canoe. It's like I have a canoe. If he wants it, he can have it. The other canoe that I had was an old Sears and Roebuck. Lord Almighty, that was like a, I don't know, 1900s version. The missus said it was one of those god-awful ugly canoes. They're the fake, they look like fake birch bark. And they're like 3 times thicker than they need to be. And then the seats had been all redone and then had to have planks underneath them, so they were double heavy. And it was, oh my God, that was a heavy beast. That was heavy. And it's like, oh no. And then especially after, it's like, look, I'm not on the water all the time and the kids are gone. So I got rid of that. So I'm going to get a solo canoe. I got a solo canoe. It's like, yeah, my canoe, that Sears canoe, Lord Almighty, had to be, oh my goodness. Had to been close to 80 pounds. It was heavy. Now I lift. That's not bad, but you're moving a canoe. It's trying to get that up and off of the car and then lug it around and then if you put stuff in it and somebody's helping you get down to that was a heavy beast. So my new canoe, like 29 pounds, I think it's yeah. Well, she's carbon fiber and she light. I could spin that thing around like a bow staff or something. I just walk over and put it right up on top of the car. It's nothing. Now I was manhandling the Lincoln around the other day, yesterday. I'm guessing she's probably, I don't know, 40, 45 pounds, something around there. Not bad for a 16-footer, especially from that age. So it's got to be, well, maybe 40. So it's not bad. 35. No, because mine's 29. It wasn't 5 pounds more. It's got to be around 40. Again, not bad. And I can move her around without any problems. She's going to be pretty. What else we got going on? Let's go back here. Let's see here. Oh, by golly. Here you go. Peggy, was it you that asked about Hudson the other day? I don't know if it was Peggy. I think it was Peggy. That was taken yesterday, I think. Yesterday afternoon. I posted it up. I think I had just, she says yes, and thank you for the picture. You're welcome. I think I had just got through playing. That's where I sit. I'm actually sitting in front of my TV. I got my stool there, and I keep my acoustic, one of them. I let my youngest guy take my Fender. So my Fender Dreadnought, he's got. So I keep my other guitar, which is my Taylor 314 CE Limited, beautiful guitar. I keep that in its stand there. Over to my left, you can't see, is I've got my Yamaha electric guitar. Play a Yamaha Pacifica. My Fender Mustang GT25, I think it is, electric amp. I have my Fender Acoustasonic 40 acoustic amp. And then I have a little, it's kind of like a stool, but it's the perfect size. I take my amps and I put it on that when I'm using them because it gets it off the ground. They work better that way. So that's where I am with it. That's now you know that if you were to look directly at me, that's what you'd be seeing. I think I just got through playing. Hudson came over to say hi. So I'm like, okay, grab my phone. Took a picture. You should see he's got a lot of white. He's got that nose module thing that's coming out. We talked about that. It's best to leave them alone if it's not bothering them because they're full of blood and it can be quite dangerous removing them. So if it's not interfering with their bleeding, then leave them alone. They're bleeding. They're breathing. Leave them alone. And as you can see, it's not very big there. It was bigger towards the end of last year. Got inflamed, and now it's kind of settled down. So that's good. He's a happy boy. Donna wants to know how your new pup is doing, Judy. Yes, how is your new puppy doing, Judy? Peggy says still living his best life. Yeah, he's a good dog. He doesn't, like I say, he doesn't go upstairs anymore. Doesn't do the stairs. He's got some fatty tumors. Again, old dogs get them. But he's doing okay. Hadn't lost any teeth. Got good bowel and bladder control. No health issues. So he's doing good. He's doing good. And Puffin is with the youngest. They got all sorts of, so now I got 2 cats and a tarantula and a snake. Yep. Oh, TSA is now starting a self-screening process at the airports. What a freaking joke. What a clown show. What a clown show. They're having problems with it already. People are having to go 5, 6, 7 times sometimes before they can get through. It's like, yeah, you think? Yeah. All of the self-checkouts in the grocery stores are having problems, and Walmart's thinking about quitting their shit because theft is through the roof. The TSA thinks it's a good idea to put in self-screening lanes. Bunch of retards. It's a joke anyways. TSA, every time from their inception until now, every single time they've been audited to see whether or not they could find the things they were supposed to find, they can't find them. It's like, so what are they there for? Theater. Theater and to make you do stupid shit. The Israelis doesn't do that shit. They just watch people. There you go. Watch people. Have people learn about human behavior. Watch people. See who's going to fit. Profiling. It fucking works. Profile, watch, use common sense, and their planes don't get blown up. Yeah, Laurel says, what could possibly go wrong? Yeah, no shit. The only reason why we haven't had another incident on the airlines is because the bad guys haven't wanted to. It's that simple. Judy says he's doing great, Donna, getting big and into everything. She has a, what'd you have? You have a pugga bully, midget bully, midget bull. What the hell? Like, John, stop it. No, what is it? Puggable, pocket bully. See, I was close. A pocket bully. She's got a pocket bully. I was close. I was on the right track. Midget pug. No. Puggable. Oh, those fucking puggables. No, she has a pocket bully. Pocket bully. It's like a miniature pit bull. Cute little things. Oh, goodness gracious. Num. You got to post up pictures. Judy, take some pictures. Go to the post I made the other day with Hudson. And go ahead and post up some pictures underneath there. Say, hey, John told me to do this. Post up pictures so you can share with folks. I mean, you don't have to do it now. Enjoy the show, but that's your assignment. Right, gals? That's her assignment. She got to take some pictures and post them up underneath the Hudson post that I made. Georgia is trying to pass a law which states that if you have a gun-free zone, be it your business or location or whatever, you are legally responsible for anything bad that happens if somebody cannot defend themselves at that location, which is the way it should be by default. So Georgia's doing that. That's good. We'll see whether or not it goes through. Every state should have that. And even better, do what Wyoming is doing. Wyoming is now, they have what the hell is this? I don't know who that is. Okay, let's go back here. Wyoming's bill, and it's on the governor's desk. We'll see whether he signs it. Is that it essentially eliminates every gun-free zone in the state of Wyoming. So if you're a business, if you're a government entity, so it doesn't, prisons, courthouses, things like that, it's still sensitive areas where they've got actual security, like if it's a nuclear power plant or whatever like that, any place that's actually has access control that isn't a business. You can still have no guns, which is the way it has always been. But schools, like New Hampshire, you can carry. Been there, done that. Schools, government meetings, the whole 9 yards. All the businesses, bars, restaurants, doesn't matter. You cannot make it a gun-free zone. Those who are legally able to carry under the law will be able to carry unrestricted in the vast majority of places in the state, which is the way it should be and the way it was before. Again, you can't carry in court. Yeah, no shit. You can't carry in prison or jails. You can carry into the police station, but not in the jail. That's pretty much like it is here in New Hampshire. Except in New Hampshire, they allow businesses, and I don't agree with this, but it's like, okay, they allow businesses to post themselves as a weapons-free. And when they say weapons, they mean guns. But it's not enforced, and if you get asked to leave, you just leave. It's not a criminal violation. At most, they'll trespass you. But it's not a weapons violation, and you're not going to arrest you for it. So it's... Me, I pick and choose. If I need to go into that store, absolutely need to, I'm probably not going to disarm, and I'll go on in there. And I open carry. I've never been asked anywhere. Same way as like jewelry stores. Jewelry stores have signs out front. Oh, no firearms in the parking lot or the store or anything like that, to include conceal. I open carry. I've never been kicked out of a jewelry store. Yeah, I was at Jared's the other day. Of course, I might have had a jacket on for it. But yeah, been there in the summertime. Never been kicked out of a store for carrying a firearm. Kay's Jeweler, go in there often. Never been kicked out. It's all corporate policies. They put up the signs. But it's like, it's New Hampshire. Nobody gives a shit. Hospital, depends upon how long I'm going to be there. If I'm in and out, if I got to be there all day, yeah, well, I decide. I can tell you, yeah, I'm not always disarming, bucko. Never been asked to leave there either. It should not be. There should be no place that a person can go to legally that is not access controlled and security provided, that you can't be armed. Posted up again about Biden pushing more gun control, and he wants that assault weapons ban and high capacity magazines. The vast majority of murders in this country are not committed with scary black rifles with large capacity magazines. But they can't go after pistols because they know nobody's going to have that. They're going to be incremental. They don't care about your safety. They care about their safety. They care about the government's safety. Say, oh, we've got a crime problem. Then he lists the stats. Oh, my goodness. Crime went up 30%. The year before, violent crimes and murders went up 30% the year before Biden was elected. Oh, you mean COVID time? COVID time? Murders went up 30% across the nation. Normally, mostly in Democrat-run cities. But yeah, okay, during the COVID period. Think about that. And then he comes back later and goes, "Oh, so this is for your safety, and there's a threat." And he goes, and this last year we've gone crime and murder, violent crimes and murder is down 15% over the 30, but we're going down. Yeah, he fails to tell you that during that same time, we've got record numbers of new carry permits, record numbers of gun sales. So those are going up. And the violent crimes and the murder rates, which include everything, not just guns. They try to lump that in. Oh, violent crimes and murders. These are the numbers. We need to take your guns. Well, most of that shit wasn't done by guns. Done by knives, hammers, hands and feet, 2x4s. Not guns, but let's say it was. The numbers are going down. The numbers of owners and those who carry are going up, went through the roof, and the other stats are going down. So what's the emergency in needing to pass more gun control legislation, more anti-Second Amendment and clear violation of the Second Amendment against its citizens? What's the emergency? There is no emergency. It's an election year. Trying to play the fears. And hopes to God that nobody actually listened to what he says and know what the hell he's talking about, or doesn't know what he's talking about. Because he doesn't. Just rattling off stats that have no correlation and no meaning to each other. And don't even if you take them at their best, shows that there's no need in any further legislation since shit's getting better, right? There you go. We went from 16 states to now 29 states in the 3 years that he's been in office that went to constitutional carry. 16 to 29 since he's been in office. I don't think the nation wants to go in the direction he says that everybody wants it to go. Judy says they can't make it make sense. No, because it doesn't make sense. It has nothing to do with your safety. It has to do with the government's safety. That's it. From the time I get up in the morning till the time I get to bed, I'm packing. I go all over the place. My gun ain't never once jumped out of its holster. I go to barbecues, family reunions, church services, funerals, weddings, banking, doing? I got a gun. Oh, you're scared. I ain't scared of shit. How's about that? I ain't scared of shit. I already told folks, get into a situation, the vast majority, it ain't the gun you need to worry about. It's one of the damn knives I got on me. That's what you need to worry about. And I'm getting too old to dance with people. Not that I can't, but if they hurt me, it takes a lot longer to heal than it did when I was 30. So I don't play those games. I'm not a boxer. I'm not a sport combatant. Fuck with me, you're going to get fucked up. This ain't a bold boast or anything. That's the truth. I can't afford. I'm not 30 years old. Shit, I didn't want to do it when I was 30. The last time I tussled with anybody was when I was a cop. And that's because I had to tussle with them. Aside from that, before and after, I'm going to tussle, I'm going to fuck you up. This isn't shit from a movie. We're not watching Roadhouse. We're not watching, some pay-per-view MMA fight someplace. It's life. But yeah, oh, John, you got a gun on you all the time. What are you scared of? Nothing. Nothing. And there's only a handful of times anyone's even spoken up and given me lip about it. I think the last time was Sam's Club, and that was pre-COVID. And some fat older dude, he goes like, oh, big tough guy, and it's like, you're an idiot. If you think that I'm carrying a gun because I want to be a tough guy, dude, you're looking up at me half my size saying that shit. You think my gun is the thing that makes me stop it. The gun isn't for you. Every person out there that wants to get the heckles up, the gun ain't for you. It's not for you. I ain't breaking leather. I ain't breaking leather for you. You're a shit-talking imp. Stop it. Peggy says, aging has a way of shortening our tolerance for ignorance. Right. I've got less time for everything. Everything. I don't care. So I ain't got time for this shit. Same was a guy I showed the door today. Look, I tell you twice. It's done. And you keep flapping your gums or typing your fingers, totally ignoring that I said, look, I even complimented the guy. It's like, look, I've been to your page. You seem like a nice guy. Seem like you're fairly rational. We just don't agree on this. And I don't think going back and forth is going to change that. So let's just call it. Had to do that shit twice and he kept coming back at me. No, fucking gone. Sorry. No, I don't have enough followers where somebody like that gets lost in the noise. And I don't get paid enough to put up with hogwash. And I'm too damn old for it. I mean, I'm not ancient, but I'm too damn old for it. I don't play them games. I don't get entertainment out of going back and forth with idiots online. I will always, in a real world situation as well as online, I will always give somebody a way out. I will not demean them or back them into a corner. I will give them a way out and a way out that they can save face. And if they don't take it, well, that's it. It's done. That's done. In the real world or online, done. Does he live in California, New York, or Illinois? I can't remember where he lived. Honestly, I can't remember. Looked like he had a little bit of money, a little bit of change. Not that he dressed in, but you go to his page. It's not going to tell you who it is. If you went to his page, because again, when somebody starts in, I always go to their page. Find out as much about them as you can to see where they're coming from. If they're an outright loony bin, they're gone instantly. I don't even waste my time, but he didn't seem like it. Very nice guy. Looked like he was, I don't know, mid-40s. Looked like he had a decent job. Middle class, at least. shit ton of professional photography of him and his family on his page. That's an indicator. That's an indicator. It wasn't all cell phone shit. So I'm like, okay. Seems like he's got his shit straight. But, you know, and then him asking, he acted like, oh, all I've ever done is lived off the government dollar? Really? Really? All I've done is lived off the government dollar. I've been self-employed and or worked for civilians, actual other owners, for a good 30 years or so. It's like, yeah, no. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay, you're right. I don't know what I'm talking about. You can give me a couple examples of somebody that got in trouble for doing something, and that's what they do. He seems to think that businesses, they just fire everybody in the audience if they. It's like, no, they fucking wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. There's not one single company out there. Well, maybe one. The average company, if they're having an event and they get heckled by the audience, they're not going to fire half of their fucking employees. They can't do that. But whatever. I was nice to the guy. Then enough is enough. Then enough is enough. And more so when you then try to make it about me. It's like, this isn't about me. Do I think that what the firefighters did was... He said it was not honorable. Yeah, fuck that and honor. They're firemen. They're not military people. They're not even police officers. And this is demeaning firemen, but you're firemen. You're firemen. You're not guards at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Should they have professionalism? Sure. But they're still firemen. And this was a fireman event with their spouses and friends and family and stuff like that. It wasn't like they were all in parade uniform out there in formation doing shit. They were sitting in the audience. The leadership was up on stage and somebody was getting an award and they chose jackwagon Miss frickin' pantywads to give the award and they didn't like it. Not the biggest crime in the world. We can't have they're paid by the taxpayer money and people can't, they're not political. It's like, yeah, every fucking union out there is in the Democrats' pocket and they're political on the left. So don't freaking tell me that, no, it's because they did something from the right. And I've talked about that before. People on the right are having enough of it. I warned about this. I fucking warned about this pre-COVID. And those of you that have been following my content knows this is the God's honest truth. I warned about this shit. I've been warning about it for a while. The people on the right and whites are going to fucking have enough. And it's been warned by very intelligent, notable people in the minority communities as well. And it's been warned about by people in the Democrat community as well. Even the ones that don't like the right. They're like, yeah, whoa, and rein this shit in. And we're getting to a point, and that could come to a head. We're here. And again, this has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Doesn't matter. You could replace Donald Trump with anybody, DeSantis, tomorrow. The problems are still going to be there. The rage is still going to be there. And I say rage because people have had the fuck enough. Remember when the Tea Party had their protests and stuff like that, and they left the place in better condition than when they started? Remember when we had those series of Second Amendment rallies and pro-Second Amendment protests at locations around the country, to include Washington, D.C., where everybody was armed and they left the place better than when they got there? Name me one fucking protest or rally from the left that leaves the place in better condition than how they got there. Just one. Just one. One. Doesn't happen. They burn shit down. They leave trash. They get violent. Shit didn't happen from the right. But I warned people, gonna be a day. Gonna be a day. You keep poking that bear that just doesn't want to be poked. Has been quiet. Ain't been doing shit. You keep poking him and saying that he is the scourge. And that he's killing people, and he's doing this, and he's doing that, and he ain't doing shit but want to be left alone. Someday that bear is going to go, you know what? I'm really tired of getting poked. I'm really tired of getting poked. And I'm already being blamed for shit. If I'm going to get blamed for shit, and I don't want to be poked, what do I have to lose by tearing some shit up? And I've warned about this. People don't want to listen. Well, they're going to be listening soon enough. You're going to be listening soon enough. And it's unfortunate. I warned about it. I warned y'all. Stop it. Stop it. Tolerance. This nation, tolerance has gotten us here, and it's been tolerance from the right. Tolerated way too damn much. There's plenty of stuff in society and in life that should not be tolerated. Here we are. Hey! It's 9:17, right? Let's see here. Yes, my clock's over there on the wall, and it matched my computer. I changed it before I started the show. I got clocks in damn near every room. I like to just be able to look up if I'm inside. Outside, I look up. I can tell you what time it is. Inside, I can't see the sun, so I like to, okay, it's X time. So I got a big clock in the living room, big clock in the kitchen, big clock in the dining room. It's just big clock. I got like big clocks. And I'm sitting there, and she's like, hey, remember the clock's wrong. Look on your computer. I'm like, oh, shit, thank you. So I immediately got up, and I changed at least 2 of them. I got to get the kitchen clock tomorrow. Laurel says she changed them all last night before she went to bed. Yeah, we usually do that. I didn't. I didn't. Bad me. See the cell phone, it updates itself. All of our computers update themselves. So yeah, canoe project. Oh, she's going to be beautiful. Yes, you can tell I'm excited. It's a nice canoe. When it's fixed. When it's right. Still waiting on the dulcimer. Oh, man, I'm chomping at the bit for that. Still waiting. Got nothing yet. It's like, we're almost halfway through the month. I didn't get he said he'd let me know about a week before it's done. It's like, oh, my goodness. It's almost halfway through the month already. Right? 15th is halfway through the month. Judy says the clocks at work drove her crazy today. They didn't set them. Shit, I haven't set my watch either. I gotta set my watch. Peggy said we found out in the 60s and 70s that rehabilitation of career criminals is mostly... Yeah. Laura says patience, grasshopper. Yeah, I've been patient. It's a month overdue. I've been very patient. Now I want it. Yeah, I had posted up the stats. Was it last week? You may have seen it. I think it was 1960 when they started the criminal justice reform movement. So between 1960 and 1970, somewhere around in there. And the crime rates immediately started to spike. I mean, it wasn't even a slow, they went through the roof, and they continued to go until the 90s. I mean, you went like this, and then right up into the 90s. And then in the 90s, the mid 90s, they brought in the broken glass broken windows program, theory, practice, and mass incarcerations. And then the actual crime rates dropped, and they dropped fast. So they skyrocketed with the prison reform movement, and then when they instituted broken windows policy, and that's, for those not familiar, that's where the theory was, and the theory was proven true because it works. If you have a neighborhood and somebody breaks a window, and you leave that window unrepaired, you get 2 broken windows, and then 3. And then not only will you get broken windows, you'll get break-ins and other crimes and so on and so forth. And next you got murders and robberies and stuff like that, and everything's through the roof. And it's true. It works that way. However, if there's a window that gets broken and you fix it, that's all you had to do. Fix it. The crime rates stayed steady or non-existent. So what you do is you deal with the criminals, and you deal with them swiftly and meaningfully. And you keep criminals off the freaking streets. This whole thing about rehabilitation, it doesn't fucking work. You know what kept people out of prison? The fear of going back into prison. When you do the rehabilitation shit, and even like now, especially around these larger communities, it's just a rotating door. You catch them, you book them, you release them. Then you catch them, book them, release them, catch them, book them, release them. And you just keep that cycle. And it's the same, I think it was New York City. It was either Chicago or New York City. And we're saying the vast majority of the shoplifting crimes were done by the same group of people. If they just remove these 30 people, the shoplifting drops dramatically because it's these same 30 people. But see, then it's escalated because everybody sees these same 30 people doing it, and it's just a freaking grab bag. Turkey shoot. Start holding people meaningfully accountable. And then, again, mid-90s, and then things dropped. That's where Biden's, since for 50 years, yeah, mid-90s. Mid-90s was the height of crime, violent crime and other crimes in the United States. Mid-90s. And funny thing is, across America, it was still safer. Even with total numbers at record highs, historic highs. America itself, the average person wasn't seeing the crimes. It was all in cities. But it then dropped, and then come about 2000. So in less than 10 years, started to climb again. And then we reached the numbers that we're at now. But the left, they can't math. They can't. Peggy says, and the recidivism rate for child molesters is upward of 97%. Yeah, well, it's across the board. There must be meaningful punishment, and certain people like this guy that we talked about earlier in the show, murdered and cut up the guy and tried to clean up the mess. And there are some people that are just bad. There are some people that just should not be in society. I'm all for, escape from LA, escape from New York, that type of shit. Find some big community, put a big freaking wall around it, and then throw your people in it. They had that other show. What was the show? They had an island. Was it called Escape or something like that? It was The Island. No escape. Let's see here. Yeah, 1994. No Escape. Good movie. Kind of reminds me of Waterworld, but not Waterworld. Kind of Waterworld and Mad Max sort of mixed. And yeah, No Escape. So I'm all for that. That's what Australia was. It's a penal colony. We need to bring back penal colonies. I don't know, pick someplace. Pick someplace. Puerto Rico. The Puerto Ricans are like, no, man. No, not Puerto Rico. But just freaking pick someplace. Take all the people that have shown that they cannot live as civilized human beings in society and put them on this place and say, have the fuck at it. Seems logical to me. You save a hell of a lot of money. But the left keeps doing stuff that they knew and they know doesn't work, and they try to double down on it. Same way with Oregon. Wasn't it Oregon? Yeah, Oregon. Back, it was around 2000, they passed a law which decriminalized all drugs, to include the hardest of them. Decriminalized them. Because what they were doing, hey, well, we want people to be able to get treatment and not have a stigma about having these drugs and the whole 9 yards. So they decriminalized all drugs. What happened? The overdose rate went up 3,000%. Or was it 30,000? It was either 30,000 or 3,000. Let me see here. I wrote the numbers down. Let's see here. Let's see. Drug overdoses. Here we go. No, excuse me. 1,500. Still good. 1,500% rise in overdose deaths since 2019. Drug crimes, those are crimes that are peripheral to actual drug use and or trafficking, went through the roof. So the complete opposite of their claimed intention happened. The complete opposite. Milton Friedman said, the worst, when I'm paraphrasing here, one of the worst things you can do as a society is judge a program by its intended outcome, by its intentions. No, judge it by what it produces. And everything that the left does makes things worse. Peggy says, I agree, and sooner or later that island would be down to one resident. Yeah. Or it'd be like, or it would come into a equilibrium. Because how that works is I think it would end up being like you see a lot of inner cities. You'd have different gangs of people in different locations, and then they'd squabble and they'd do things. Or how ancient Europe used to be, or ancient Americas used to be. It's just, and then just squabbles going this way and that way, and then it'll work in equilibrium, and either way's fine by me. Either way's fine. I don't care. But yeah, everything that they do is just, I don't care about their intent. I really don't. I don't care their intentions. Common sense would say this shit ain't working. Rehabilitation. No, how's about this? Start raising your fucking kids right. That's nothing. Here's nothing. Oh, gee. There's a push now, again, to ban TikTok. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. It's not an American company. Does not need to have American access. So I say ban it. Ban it. I don't care. Trump wanted to ban it. Said TikTok is a threat to national security when he was in office. He got a little bit of pushback and he dropped it. Now he's going, oh, well, we can't because that would just embolden Zuckerberg. And it's like, who cares? If there's problems with Facebook and the other platforms, let's deal with those. But you don't not deal with TikTok because Zuckerberg has Facebook. That's retarded. Now I'm seeing all sorts of Trump supporters go, yeah, well, Trump's right. Was he right then or is he right now? Or are you just so fucking stupid that whatever he says you're just going to say is right? Trump isn't right about everything all the time. He's right about shit. But he's not right about everything. He's dead wrong about this. Dead wrong. But, here's a little twist that I've been screaming about for years. Get your fucking kids off the internet. That's like going, we're going to ban restrictions on highways to protect the kids. What the fuck are the kids doing behind the wheel of a car getting on the highways? Get them off the highways. We don't want kids to be drinking alcohol in bars. Fair enough. Keep them out of bars. Oh, TikTok is causing TikTok brain with children. Ban TikTok. Keep your kids off the internet. Keep your kids off Instagram. Keep your kids off of Facebook. Keep your kids off of TikTok. It's not the government's job to protect your kids all the time. It's your job. Start being a freaking parent. Oh, but the kids want to. I don't give a shit what the kids want. Take the computers and other devices away from them, unless they're doing schoolwork or they're in your direct supervision, and have them go play fucking games. Go play outside. We did okay. We didn't even have a game console. We didn't have those games. I'm trying to think if we even had fucking board games. Like I said, I was damn near a teenager before we had a TV. And we got 2 freaking stations. And we didn't get to control the damn TV. The rest of the time we listened to NPR, the Spider's Web, and other radio plays. That's what we did. And we got read to at night. How's about a little bit of some of that? It's like people go, oh, I don't have time to cook. You have fucking time to cook. If you got time after you get home from work to sit down and get in front of the computer or get in front of the TV and wait for 45 minutes for that frozen dinner to be cooking in the oven, you had time to cook. You just chose not to cook. It's poor time management. You just chose to do something else. I can tell you what, me and the missus working together, we can cook up a meal in between half an hour and 45 minutes from scratch and have a good time doing it. And it's going to taste way better than any frozen shit that's going to take at least 45 minutes, if not longer, to get done. Full of crap. You have time to cook, you just choose not to. I get it. Oh, you're tired. Yeah, welcome to the human existence. It's like people bitching, oh, 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. You know that up until the early 1900s, there was no 5-day work week. There was no 40-hour a week. Didn't exist for anybody. Retirement? What the fuck is retirement? People worked till they died. Only the rich got to retire. Most people weren't rich. We live in the most prosperous and easy time in human history, and people bitch because they don't have to. I don't have time to cook dinner. Oh, I can't. Everything is so expensive. I can't make a healthy meal. You're full of shit. You're full of shit. Pre-baked. You can stop on the way home and get yourself a chicken for under $6. A whole freaking chicken, rotisserie baked. Whole chicken. You get that with some taters, a little bit of gravy. Make the gravy yourself and get in the mix. Do whatever. Get a can. I don't give a shit. Some frozen vegetables. You know, some green beans. Feed a whole family for under $10 and have leftovers. You can't, and healthy. Oh, you can't afford to eat healthy food. You're full of shit. Peggy says, amen. Kids wouldn't drown in pools if their parents weren't glued to their phones too. I mean, there's a lot of things there. It just, choices. You're making choices. And you can still make those choices. Even when my kids were growing up, they had computer games in their rooms. They had TVs of their own. They weren't expensive, but I didn't have any of that shit growing up. But we also went out and played. When I mean played, I mean we played. You know, run around with the kids. Play bocce ball. Play badminton. Play croquet. We built a paintball field. Had paintball. We played. We had squirt gun fights that I was a god at because Dad climbed buildings. we had the house, and then we had a back house. It used to be daycare house, but Dad climbed buildings. So when you're running around, watch the eaves because Dad's going to shoot you. So yeah, we played. You know, get the kids on each shoulder and run around and do things. Do things. You don't have the time. Oh, you're too tired. Go to bed. Go to bed. Get some sleep. No. You're going to stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning. Have to get up at dark 30. Go to work. Bitch about being tired all day. Come home. Sit around. Not do anything. Not play with your kids. Not cook fresh food. And start the process all over again. It's like, no. We don't have any less time than we have ever had in human history. You've got more time. More time. More free time. Priorities. The same way as, oh, things are so expensive. Yes, they are. I can't afford this. Okay. What's your cell phone plan? What's your cable plan? What's your general fun things that you spend money on? How many times do you go out to eat a month? There's very few people that after you just do a cursory look at their budget go, yeah, they're fucked. No, most people, it's like, you're just blowing money. You're blowing money. Stop blowing money. Oh, I can't afford food. It's going, yeah, food's expensive. God, it's expensive. But you're getting those cigarettes and you're getting that 6-pack of beer. You're getting, really? Really? And you're complaining about food prices. Stop it. What are you giving up? See, nobody wants to give up anything. They want more and they want to do shit and they don't want to give up anything. Stop. Everything's about priorities. Everything. What are your priorities? Always an excuse. I got excuses, but I'll tell you what the excuses are. And I'll say, yeah, it's an excuse. And then I still try to help people out. It's like, oh, John's rolling in the money. No, I'm fucking not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Wish. Stop it. Accountability and choices. We live in the best time in human history, and people are pissing it away. Crazy. No. Hey, you kids out there, give your parents a call. Don't send them a text. Don't say hey on Facebook. Give them a fucking call. See, I didn't raise my kids like that too. Hey, kids, give me a call. Give mom a call. Didn't raise them like that. Their grandparents, we always brought them over. Bring the grandkids over. That's your job. Don't get so wrapped up in your life that you forget the people that gave of theirs. Again, there's points in time when the kids were growing up. I had one meal a day to make sure that the kids had 3. Give your parents a call. Bring the grandkids over. Time is important to the grandparents. Time. Did you take the time? Did you show that they were important? Not, well, fuck it, I'm a kid. I'm out on my own. Wrapped up in my life and my kids and my friends. And no, remember about your parents, because they're not going to be there forever. And you can't get back that time. And it's not up to grandparents to always chase down everybody else. Fuck that shit. Remember I said there's a 30% rule? Whether it's winning on games, whether it's communicating back and forth, by human nature, it takes, there must be at least 30% given from the other side. And when that stops, I don't care if you're a saint, at some point people just stop interacting. Put in at least your 30%. At least. I don't care if it's putting the kids in the SUV and driving over and spending an hour. Do it. Because that's going to mean more to your folks than you can ever imagine. Everybody gets wrapped up in their own lives. I just don't get it. It's like if I ever had an abundance, I couldn't imagine just keeping it to myself. Hell, I talk about the canoe I'm restoring, and the first thing that comes to my mind, and I'm not saying I'm a saint, because I'm fucking not, but it shows you a little bit about me. The first thing that comes to my mind is, oh shit, now I'm going to have an extra canoe, so if somebody else wants to come canoeing with me, I can take them canoeing. That's just my nature. It's not just about me. People get wrapped up in me. Me. What about everybody else? Good coffee. Again, tonight's coffee is chocolate-covered strawberry from Dunkin' Donuts brand. Boy, y'all got me wound up there. Oh, my goodness. You got me wound up there. Then everybody got all quiet. Like, John's on a roll. He's on fire. No, it's like I've spent my entire life working and giving to others. So it always pisses me off when somebody says, oh, John, he's never helped anybody. He's this and he's that. It's like, you have no freaking idea about me. None. I'm still giving eggs away every week. I'm not asking for a dime. I got the eggs, I'm going to give them away. Friends and family. It's in my nature. Don't expect it. Don't try to take shit from me. That gets my heckles up. But yeah, I'm a very giving guy. It is what it is. So yeah, I got some hard edges. I'm fairly stoic. Yes. It's because of how I grew up. It's the life I've lived. But I give more and care more, genuinely, about those around me than most of the liberal fucks out there. They want to just preach and just virtue signal. There's no need to fucking virtue signal. Batman doesn't signal for himself. Stop it. Stop it. Be better. Well, John, you just got through. Yeah, I did. Just to show that anybody can do it. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. Yep. Yipper skipper. And turn your freaking music down when you're delivering stuff. And it wasn't even just the volume. It's what it was. It was ghetto music. Damn ghetto music. I don't want to hear that shit. And I'm not using it as a pejorative. I'm using it, that's exactly what it was. When you got the B word coming out every other thing and the N word coming out every other thing, and it's like, that's ghetto music. I don't live in the fucking ghetto. I don't live in Manchester. I do not live in the shitty areas of Manchester. I don't. I live in a little town that looks like frickin' Norman Rockwell town. It's like, we don't need that shit here. All the fucking hoodlums coming in. It was disrespectful. It was disrespectful, said Judy. It was. Don't need that shit. Been watching as the years go on. More and more hoodlums moving in from the bigger communities. Because I guess they want a better life for their kids, and then their kids act like this is freaking Grand Central Hood Station. Stop it. This is small town New Hampshire. Stop it. Can't wait till we can get out of town. just wanna got our eye on a few properties, but want to get out of here. So what the hell's wrong with people? Same thing. I saw the same thing. Lived up in Pennacook. Back when it was, I've talked about this, back when on the radio, they go, traffic-free Concord. Yeah, it was traffic-free. By the time we left there, no. Low-income housing got put in. People moved up from Manchester, Nashua, Massachusetts, brought all their crap with them. Crime went up. It's like, yeah. Bye. Doesn't have to be that way. Sprawl. Urban sprawl. And the problems that go with it. There ain't shit urban here. I mean, this is New Hampshire. You got a couple big communities. Nashua, Manchester. Manchester's the biggest. They ain't big compared to most other places. Stop this shit. Raise your kids right. By God, if you don't have a job and you're on welfare, there is no excuse for not having a clean house, clean stoop out in front of your place, clean lawn, no trash in front of your place, and well-behaved kids, because you got plenty of fucking time on your hand. That's not the way it works. See, because people aren't poor because they don't have money. They don't have money because of the choices they make in life. They don't act the way they do because they don't have any money. Throughout all human history, most people didn't have any money, and they didn't act like that. It's about you and your behavior. Stop it. That's why it's, universal basic income. Yeah, if we give everybody a certain amount of money, then they're going to use their time and they're going to write songs and poetry and paint pictures. No, they're not. No, they're not. Well, how do you know that? The welfare system. There you go. That's UBI. Already played out for you. They're not raising their kids. They're not keeping their houses. Oh, but I know. Yeah, you know a few. You know a few. Stop it. I'm all for helping people that need help, but it should be temporary, and fix the freaking problem. Oh, but they can't get a job because then they won't be able to take care of their kids. They're not taking care of their kids now. They're causing problems. They sure as hell got their cell phones and their laptops and shit like that. Their internet access and their cable TV. They sure as hell have all that. And boy, those politicians are going to make sure that they get more of it because they vote. Yeah, democracy. It's a problem with democracy. There was a reason why, when the United States was designed, that it was not a democracy. There was no such things as universal voting rights. Because they knew as soon as people realized they could vote the property away from somebody else into their own pockets, they'd do so. Yeah, there you go. The same way as you cannot have an open immigration policy and a welfare state at the same time. Can't do it. I maintain you can't have a welfare system in this at the same time as anything. Go back to having church and private organizations provide the care. Then people know where their money's going, and it was accountable. They say, okay, if you want this help, this is what's going to happen, and we're not going to feed you for the rest of your freaking life. Oh, but you're supposed to feed the poor. No, you're not supposed to feed the poor. It's Christianly. It's not Christianly. You're supposed to take care of the elderly and the affirmed. The elderly and the affirmed. You can guarantee that 99.999999999% of people on welfare are neither elderly nor affirmed. The people sponging off of everybody else's hard work are neither the elderly nor the affirmed. And I'm sorry, morbidly obesity, my 600-pound life does not qualify. The irony of that. In the West, the poor are dying of morbid obesity. The poor. You can't make this shit up. You're supposed to feel bad for them. Oh, because they got medical. No. They're not fat because they had medical problems. And there's nothing wrong with being fat. Look, a lot of people are fat. If they're trying and they're trying to keep themselves in shape, that's fine. When they're lying to themselves and trying to make everybody else freaking act like, oh, there's nothing unhealthy about being fat and it's beautiful and all this, it's like, no. Doesn't work like that. And there's always been fat people, just not to this degree. Laurel says they get paid more per month for every kid they pop out. When I left Minnesota, I think it was $2,000 per kid per month. I haven't done the math. I know that most places cap it, so it's like, after 4 kids, you can't get him. But whatever, Jesus. And like I said, it would almost be worth it, almost, if they were actually raising their kids. But they're not. If they were actually doing something of value. But they're not. Oh, they're getting their nails done, their hair done, colored. They're getting tattoos. They're buying their cigarettes. They're drinking their alcohol. They're getting into mischief, causing problems. They're not because they're not gainfully employed. And then the state's going, hey, get rid of the guy and we'll give you money. No, don't get rid of the guy. Stay with the guy that you chose to lay down with. And if you're not willing to be their life partner, stop spreading your legs for them. Oh, but guys, yes, we're hardwired different. A guy will fuck a wet knot hole in the woods. Guys are stupid. We're hardwired different. We are biologically impaired Our biological imperative is to spread our seed. A woman's biological imperative, in spite of what the feminist movement has told them, is to be highly selective, to pick the right man, the right genes, stay with them, have them as a partner and a provider and a protector. That's a woman's prime directive. It's been turned on its head. Oh, but guys are stupid. Guys also do the hunting, and they put themselves in dangerous positions, and they do coal mining, and they're roughnecks, and they fight wars. Yes, there's a lot that guys do that girls don't do. So stop this but guys shit. Stop it. Be better. And women are miserable. The experiment's been done. The numbers are in. Women are miserable. Oh, the most important thing in my life should be my career. Bullshit. Most men don't have careers. That's the biggest lie out there. Most men don't have careers. They have jobs. They may even have the same job all their adult life, but it ain't their freaking career. You think a career is work in the assembly line? It's not a fucking career. It's a job. You think working at the grocery store is a career? It's a job. We need those jobs done. Most people don't have careers. But lying to women that the most important thing in their life is a career, and then they hit 35, 40 years old and they still haven't had kids, and they've been with how many dudes they've been run through, they're damaged goods. And they think that they're still 18, 19 years old, the prime of their life, and their value to society is the same as that. No, it's not. By 35 or 40, you should be about ready to have your first grandkid. And then being the value, and we've discussed this on other shows, women's value doesn't decline, it changes. It changes. When you stop being a reproductive vessel, your value changes. You can't be 60 years old and have the same sexual value, which is what you had since the time you were a teenage girl. Doesn't work that way. You now need to be the matriarch. You need to be a solid person, you and your husband, and help guide the youngins coming up again. Because they're going to be dealing with the same stuff you've already been through. So when you're like Madonna or any other woman that's 45, 50, 65, 70 years old, and you think that you're some 20-year-old chick or the world should view you with the same sexual veracity, you are fucking insane. It doesn't work like that. And that doesn't mean that there aren't some absolutely amazingly gorgeous and sexually appealing older ladies. Yes, there are. But they ain't a 20-year-old girl. And the guys, no guy that's in his 20s and 30s should look at somebody who's 60, a woman who's 60 years old, and go, yeah, I got to have me some of that to settle down with for the rest of my life. That means something's wrong in their head. Oh, but love. Nah, biology. Something is wrong in their head. This whole cougar mentality. Oh, yeah, you're a cougar. Nah. Oh, how is it great? Here's another thing. How is it great for a woman to be a cougar? But if the biological imperative of an older guy to have a younger girl is so bad and evil because he's now taken advantage of her, though there's biological reasons why they pair up like that throughout all human history, why is it cool to be a cougar? You ain't mating with him. You're having sex. That ain't mating with somebody. That's all the actions and the drive of a sexual stimuli without the biological reason for it. Stop it. And when you get that age, where's your man? You should already have a dude. I mean, come on. Have a dude. You're 45, 50, 65 years old on. Why don't you have a man that you can enjoy sharing time with? Why are you looking out? Why are you trying to get with every 25 to 35-year-old man that, again, would stick his willy in a wet knot hole in the forest? You think that that's saying what you're worth? You're not worth anything. You're available. There's a difference between worth and being available. Women have forgotten their worth. Your worth is in not giving it away. You're not special because a guy wants to have sex with you. A guy wants to have sex with everybody. That's not, no. What are you thinking? At least older guys that have a lot of money know exactly what the girls are after. They're not fooling themselves. I think Leonardo DiCaprio was fooling himself. No, he had a 25-year-old limit, and he's kept that his whole life, and he's able to do that because he's rich. Not fooling himself. Take that money away, he wouldn't be anything. But it is the way it is. Women, you are valuable for what you have available to give and your selectiveness in giving it. Jesus, you think gold, if everybody had a room full of gold, it wouldn't be worth anything. Stop giving that shit away. There's a reason for hypergamy. Hypergamy is a woman partnering with older and higher status than herself. That's hypergamy. There's a reason for that. There's a biological reason for that. This isn't a society thing. It's a biological thing. And contrary to what these feminists are telling everybody, the old system is actually beneficial to women. Why? Because they don't end up old, bitter, and with cats. Old, alone, bitter, and with cats. They have somebody to help them through their aging years. They have family. They have a partner. They have security. You're going to throw that away because you think that you're going to act like a teenager used to act 150 years ago. Because I was going to say someone in their early 20s. No, because by the time they were early 20s, most women were partnered up with the man they were going to spend the rest of their life with. Why? Because they were in the prime of their sexual abilities, reproductive abilities. And life was hard. Most kids died. So you have to be able to have a lot of kids. Again, we live in the most easy time in human history. And people have been lied to. And they're miserable. Submit to a man. I'll be goddamned if I submit to a man. I'm the boss. Boss bitches find themselves alone. Because the only people that a boss bitch can get is a beta male. That's a male that is willing to be dominated. And most men, and there are men out there that do that, but most men, no, they're not having it. And it's been shown, if you just let go, pick the right man. I'm not saying you just got to submit to anybody. No. Pick your man. Be careful. Choose him wisely. Pick him, stay with him. Submit. If he abuses you, he's not the right man. There's remedies for that. There always have been. Again, counter to what feminists say. There's always been remedies for that. Pick the right man. Oh, there is no right man. Oh, you wonder why there's less and less good guys out there? Because the generations that came up have been raised by women who now complain, their daughters complain, there's no good men out there. You women created this batch by saying that men are worthless. You don't need men. Men are worthless. Gimme, 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 gimme. Do what I want you to do. That's it. You're a dick and an ATM machine. That's what you are. Everything else, get the fuck away from me. I don't need you. You created the mess. Now, I guarantee most of the women that follow my content, it doesn't apply to them. And they know it doesn't apply to them. But they're not the majority that are out there. I wish the hell they were. Demonize anything masculine or good about guys. Tell them, for they started this shit from the mid 70s. They started bashing kids, bashing boys. Women, oh, girls, you can do anything that you want. Guys, they couldn't do shit right. We need to stop this. We're 2024 now. We need to stop this. We need to start getting our men back to being men and our ladies back to being ladies. Boss bitch. Nobody wants a boss bitch. Girls want boss bitch. You know what? Here you go. You know bodybuilders? Bodybuilders don't do that for the chicks. They do it for the guys. They do it for the guys. Oh, but they're always with girls in the magazines. Yeah, they are. But the average girl out there is not running out trying to get themselves a bodybuilder. I'm talking bodybuilders, not just guys that go to the gym and they fancy themselves. I'm talking about bodybuilders. Competitive bodybuilders. They don't have harems of women chasing them down. That's for the men. Men go, oh, that's masculine. Boss bitches doesn't impress the guys. It impresses the girls. So if you just want to be around guys all the time and you're a guy, just do things that impress guys. Don't ever do things that impress. I do manly things. But I also take care of the gals. Laurel says, I've never been attracted to bodybuilders. Yeah, there is a point where it's bodybuilding is not you're not a badass because you're a bodybuilder. And I think, but you move. Look, it's a beauty pageant for puffy muscles. That's all it is. You can't hardly wipe your own ass. Stop it. There's a certain point where you become too big. It's a beauty contest for men with muscles. Oh, see my muscles, see my symmetry. You can't do anything worthwhile with it. Go work out in the field. Go split some wood. Go do this. You can't do it. None of these guys, you go on Instagram, you see a big guy, and he's splitting wood. Bitch, that's the only time you've split wood. It's not like you live out in the wilderness and you're doing that shit, because you wouldn't look like that if you did. You just look like you were in shape. And that's fine. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being a little bigger. I think, hey, look good. Do it. Gay men and guys that want to impress other men, showing how manly they are, they go to those extremes. Most women aren't attracted to that shit. Again, boss bitches, same thing. It impresses girls. That's why I say, if you're a girl and you want advice on guys, stop asking the girls. Go ask a trusted grandfather or uncle or somebody like that from a stable relationship that's had a few years underneath them. Ask them. Girls sabotage each other. They do. They sabotage each other. Don't listen to women. You've been lying to yourselves for 70 years, 60 years. The feminist movement started, in the mid-60s too? Boy, a lot of shit happened in the mid-60s. Really got pushed. Been lied to. And they're not happy. Jesus. You're miserable and you're trying to tell yourself that you're not. You're miserable. And then when you end up in the predictable situation, you blame everything but yourself and the choices that you made. You know what men want? Men want peace. They want peace. They don't want drama. They don't want squabbling hens. That's what we got chicken coop for. I don't even like my chickens doing that. I like them to be happy. Men don't want drama. They want peace. They want to do things for you. They want to take care of stuff, and they want peace. Bring them peace. Bring them a sandwich. Bring them a cup of coffee. Bring them a cold beer. Laurel says most men don't like scrawny or muscle-bound women. No. Some do. There's fetishes. Those are fetishes. It's not the norm. Most men, and this is worldwide, irregardless of culture, because they've done the experiments. They have brought silhouettes of both men and women, silhouettes, and brought them out to cultures all around the world, to include cultures that do not have TV and shit like that. The men and the women chose the same things within a very minor deviation. Taller men, shorter women in comparison. The men with broader shoulders than hips, but not overly large. Broader shoulders than hips, but not overly large. Women, the men, for women, preferred a certain shape and age range, or a shape and size and proportion. And it wasn't super thin, and it wasn't super fat. Yes, there are fetishes. And yes, men and women often settle for less than optimal. Could be said that I'm less than optimal. Fair enough. I don't care. I think I pretty much fit the profile, but okay. And men pick women all the time that are less than optimal. And we love you. We love you. Because there's more to it than that. But we've got this whole, let's just tell everybody that up is down and down is up and healthy is unhealthy and unhealthy is healthy, and stop it. Stop fucking piercing your faces. Donna says, I know skinny men that can outwork most of these men. Something physique. Yeah, I mean, the best, we've talked about this too. If you look at anybody really that's an operator in the military, they don't look like in the movies. They look like that after they get out. There's no way that you can keep that body mass and have range of motion and everything like that once you get over a certain size. There's a reason why farmer strong. The guys usually aren't. Some of the guys are big, yeah, but the skinny guys are cock strong too. Why? Because it's what they're doing. They can work all day. Hell, I probably couldn't work. I couldn't work like I did back when I was 35 or 40. Slowing down. Those guys in the gym can't throw bales of hay all day. Can't split wood all day. Oh, but they're pretty. Ooh, look at those muscles. Yeah, okay. It's the same way. I watch the bodybuilders because I watch the bodybuilders. I'm like, fuck, I'm lifting more than that. I don't look like that because I ain't juiced up. They're not just genetics. Genetics, my ass. Yes, you have to have good genetics with juice to look like that. But it's not just good genetics. Donna says, good term. Farmer strong. Yeah. Farmer strong. I didn't make it up. It's a term. Judy says, most cowboys are pretty small guys, but they are tough. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you get a big guy now and again, but I mean, you stop and think, you look back at the old pictures. Go back in the 1800s and look at what people looked like. Hell, we even talked about, look, World War II era, and just look at what people looked like. They weren't huge. They still had to do shit. This stuff had to be done. They had workable muscle. Donna says pretty men have never interested her. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Again, there's nothing wrong with being a pretty boy. You got your place, but you better have more than that. And not every woman. Some women like rugged-looking guys. There's some women that like that, what I consider downright ugly guys. Whatever, that's fine. Hey, you do you. Pick whatever works for you. There's somebody out there for everybody. Judy says she loves pretty men. No, and I'll tell you, I see a good-looking guy, I'll be like, yeah, that's a good-looking guy. I can tell if he's effeminate, good-looking. It's like, oh, that's okay, but could be more manly. And there's rugged guys. I was like, yeah, that's a good-looking guy. Doesn't make me gay. I don't want to fuck him. It's like, no, but I understand. Because women do the same thing. You can't say that a woman can't look at another woman and understand when it's a good-looking woman. They know. I'm the same way. If I see a good-looking guy, it's a good-looking guy. George Clooney's a good-looking guy. Sean Connery, the older he got. I don't think that Sean Connery was good looking when he was sub 30. I don't think so. And he was a bodybuilder back in the day, and he was smaller than the average guy is now, and he was a bodybuilder back in the day. Donna says, I like the rugged types. Yeah, there's a type for everybody. Character. Age. I can't imagine a woman wanting a guy that has baby soft skin on his face and he's past 40. It's like, he better have some wrinkles. He doesn't have to look like a washboard, doesn't have to be dried up leather, but he better have some character. Show me some scars. I don't want to see your tattoos. Don't show me your fucking tattoos and your piercings. Show me your scars. Show me your scars. You did anything in life? Or you wrapped up in bubble wrap and you get yourself inked? Laurel says, Sam Elliott, Sean Connery, Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood's good. Sam Elliott, yeah, he's okay. He's okay. He's got his own distinct look. He's better with a mustache. He's much better with a mustache. There's some people that are made for facial hair, and Sam Elliott, yeah, he's made for a mustache. Yeah. Oh, who's the other guy? We talked about him. Quigley Down Under. Oh, what the hell's his name? You like his voice? Yeah, he's got a good voice. He's got a good baritone. Magnum P.I. Who the hell is he? Thin Blue Line or the Blue something or other. Tom Selleck. Thank you, Laurel. Tom Selleck. He's another one I can't. It's like, what the hell's his name? I always forget his name. The other one that I forget his name all the time is Brad Pitt. I always forget his name. Brad Pitt's a pretty boy. He's a pretty boy. But yeah, Tom Selleck. All types. He looks better with a mustache too, just not a 70s porn. 70s porn stash. Of course, I think he still has a 70s porn, so I guess he's fine. He's fine. Some of his younger pictures, without his shirt on and stuff like that, with a bear rug, and it's like, yeah, it's a little cringe, but it was the times. It was the times. Holy shit, we're after 10. It got me going there. Wound me up. Got John wound up. But yeah, society needs to just start being honest again. Stop trying to lie about freaking everything. It doesn't help anybody. It hurts. Hurts everybody. Hurts the people doing it. Hurts the people trying to grift off it. Hurts everybody. Needs to stop. Women need to be ladies again. Men need to be men again. We got a whole weird generation, and it just I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I understand how it happened. I know why it happened. I just don't get it. It's just counter to everything. Counter to everything. And we're getting invaded in the West by all these countries that they didn't do that. So here we are. Donna says, long day, night all. Hey, thanks for showing up, Donna. Thanks for contributing. Laurel, Judy, Donna, Peggy, whoever else. I'll see you on Sunday. Judy says, I don't get it either. Yeah, it's counter to... and we're being invaded. The West is being colonized by all the rest of the third world freaking countries. It's like, stop it. Oh, you did it. Look, and you've been bitching about it. So we need to stop it. Peggy says, good night all. And thank you, John. You're most welcome, Peggy. Thank you for showing up. Laurel says, good night. Says, have a good night. Today is Sunday. Thank you. Holy shit. Oh, Wednesday. Man, I slipped. I lost 3 days there. Wednesday. Thank you, Laurel. See you on Wednesday. I was going to go, by the next show I should have pictures of the canoe, my starting pictures. And it's like, no, I won't, because it's Wednesday. Judy says, America's in trouble. It could be. We can turn it around. Hopefully today is a start. I shouldn't feel bad. Gus has done that in the past when I skip the days. He's like, hey, whoa, we got another day coming up here. It's been a long day. So yeah, Monday. So I'll be up bright and early. My standard content. I do a lot of research and a lot of other stuff on Monday mornings. Get that posted up for y'all. And then Wednesday. Yep. So with that, I am going to call it a night. Thank you all for showing up and having a pretty good show. Got me wound up. Sorry. God bless and take care.